The silence on the ground, you just completely destroy the borrowed time if you catch him. And he's going to be towards the middle of the fight. It's also not the greatest pairing with the Morphling. I mean, it's just going to completely give him a free lane, but I think he would have had that anyway versus the Tired Phoenix. Really, the weakness would have been level 1, level 2, but that's also Phoenix's weakest stage as well. But one thing that it does give you, at least it's one of the best ways to deal with Tide, just a huge AoE control that you purge off instantly, and then you also can get rid of someone else's tentacle stun.
Also, the fact that it does kind of guarantee what the support lanes are going to be for Army Geniuses, because I feel like if you're wanting to have Thunderstrike into an Abaddon, it's not going to work. You know, you're just going to be able to purge it off with the Aphotic Shield as well. So I think the Phoenixes are now definitely going to be played in the position 4 role for them, which honestly isn't too bad, right? It means that the Phoenix is going to be able to use the Fiery Spirits to be able to lane in a good way, but also get some stacks off inside the triangle camp.
Alright, if Morph and Venge is not broken, then I'm all AG. So you can do what you would like with that.
Because it's against Venge, Lion, and Abaddon that don't do anything.
This is a stupid liking game. Like, this is a ridiculous liking game. What do you do with him?
It's pretty good.
This seems
Lion
free.
Needs to play the perfect game. Like, JoeCam needs to pop off this game if they're going to have any chance.
Does this not seem free to you?
Pretty free, I'll be honest. What could they do to be able to respond to it? You would assume it's the mid hero yet to come from Alacrity, something that's able to lock the Lycan in place. But again, I feel like if you're doing that, you're going to be committing pretty heavily, and then you're just going to be a bait essentially for a Static Storm or a Ravage being in onto you.
They don't have 24th either. It needs to be. I think it has to be a melee hero actually. Like
Dire team back.
Like who are you going to put on the front line to eat abilities? But then again, like you need a pairing with the Abaddon. So as soon as I saw the Abaddon, I'm like, they might go like Lesh or something like that to enable the combo. So now you don't really have a good pairing with Abba. You don't have a melee here to play the front line, and you don't have an answer to the Lycan. Like, you need a lot in this last pick, and you are not going to get all of those things.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm thinking. I'm trying my best. Like, no one's going to be able to hit this egg either. Like,
that's a good ban. That's a good ban. I like the Conquer a lot. It's... Yeah. I don't believe you can Mars mid.
They can't just Tiny, can they?
It's just got banned. They might Void. The Void's banned. Ember's there, but it doesn't deal with Lycan as well. They still do it. There's not a lot of catch. It can create a lot of chaos, which they need.
And it's an Alacrity Ember.
Like, even in a game that... It doesn't deal with the Lycan as well, but they... Like, it seems like still it's a pretty strong Ember game. They have minimal catch.
They do. So his main role, of course, is to try and lock down the Phoenix and Disruptor and hope that the Lycan doesn't rip through your backlines in the meantime.
They don't have long... I don't know if you can... Oh, you're only against Lion.
Anti-mage.
You may now select your heroes.
Mid-tide? Mid-anti-mage?
Hey, you were talking smack when I said Black did against the AM against Ember in a ranked game. No, it's tied.
That's why, because it didn't even get picked. So what is this? Is it just like the rest of them are going to create so much space that it's going to allow DB to have the freest game, and if they go and gank DB, then you're just going to lose probably two towers in return?
I guess. This makes me not as...
10 seconds remaining.
Not as sold on Dire's draft. Like, it's a very good AM game, but it just, like, their cores are now...
It doesn't synergize with the rest of the draft, so it's good in a vacuum. You know what? Army Geniuses, they were in a really commanding position in game 1. I'm going to say them for game number 2.
It's a Mizu offlane Abba, too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
I mean-
What's their 5 disruptor? That's not an easy lane. That is not an easy lane.
I guess they really wanted the ABBA into the disruptor, but
I know it's because the legitimately any passive is better than nothing versus the anti-mage.
yeah.
So you now Mizu can actually trade versus AM well. I don't think it matters because the Abaddon versus Disruptor, because he won't have mana to get rid of the Thunderstrike. Like maybe you will bring it. You'll probably have a stick, maybe Soul Ring, and maybe a mango or two. But I think you just now at least have a hero that can man fight, and he can also play the body as well, which they were currently lacking. Does this change?
I mean, sure, but doesn't the Lycan just completely ignore you in team fights?
Yeah, 100%. Like, you still have a huge Lycan issue.
I'm going army. Oh, also,
yes,
I want to see what's happening with the
Prepare for
couriers.
battle.
Are they sitting outside the base? All right, I'm going to need to see those wolves go into the Radiant base
Dude.
and devour 4 separate couriers.
it's not gonna happen. Your pub games. What the hell?
The next label play. The next label play.
Imagine if that actually happened. Oh my. How did he get it in though? Because don't you? It's got 325 health.
Maybe he sent both in, so the tower had to only hit one of them. I didn't actually watch. All I saw was the minimap was lit up, and then couriers started dying, and I was like, "Oh, sweet!" And they didn't react, so I was like, "All right."
Well,
High
30
fives.
seconds to
Playing
battle.
some patty cake in the mid lane. Lim and Lamang Daya.
I don't know about you, but dude, what's Wommy doing?
I don't know, man.
Dude, AG. It's always funny to see the old chat. I'm super excited for this game. I'm on the edge right now. I was a huge fan of AG's lineup,
Battle
and then the
begins.
anti-mage got picked. And again, like you said, in a vacuum, it's a very good AM game, but that doesn't synergize with the team they have. Like it just feels interesting with the cores. And for Radiant, I don't know what happens with the Morphling Venge. Like I really just don't know. Are they they're aggroing. They got 3 ranged. What is this?
An amazing kill lane. Like, I mean, you'd have to assume that Paulison's going to go for the magic missile here.
Do you, or do you go wave just to trade?
I mean, in a tri lane though.
Wouldn't you get a bit more value out of it though? Could you hit multiple heroes instead of the one? I guess you could overwhelm one of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the only reason to run a tri lane is to get kills, right? So, if that's not going to happen, then what's the point of the tri lane? And I don't feel like Wave of Terror is going to be able to do enough super early. They're actually bringing the Disruptor up towards the top side.
So this is also the question that I thought they were giving Mizu the Abba to play into the AM lane, but they were just wanting to at least have him as a core, like regardless, and still trialing, which I find interesting. I mean, Dire's not the strongest level 1, as we're showing right now. They're away from DB. Look, Paulison is kind of tunnel vision to clean off AM. Yokem as well. They're now back to taking a huge amount of damage themselves.
It does feel like it's going to swing back and forth constantly in the lane,
Yeah.
right? Like, based around the fiery spirits, most likely.
Yeah, like
At least the lane being up here, they've got a little bit of that extra tower regen if they want from UK.
this will also mean no one's going to block the small camp. So pulls are always super, super important in a tri lane. You just need to get the creep equilibrium back in your favor and just eke some experience over to the support.
At least able to body block there onto the camp so it doesn't stack up of the hard camp that was pulling through. Army Geniuses, they're really waiting for their level 2 timing here. But they're not going to get it.
And a big Galaxy Racer that find it first. Polo be okay if they all got sticks. Yokem doesn't have a stick at the moment, but in your dream and Polison does. Does look like they're not really slowing down DB's find at the moment. So he's doing okay. They will need a lot more resources, which are starting to come out. Get an
They're
opportunity.
also giving him all the experience. It's like that was the big difference, right? You had level 2s on Galaxy Racer and just level 1 on Army Geniuses. And like I said, you need... Oh, they might even... No, I think they can look to going on to UK. They need level 2 on Lim just for that survivability aspect. And now even just the kinetic field or the glimpse, whichever way they want to go for it, is going to be pretty damn impactful for being able to swing the lane back in their favor.
Get a bit of an opportunity to take a look at the other lanes. Alacrity versus Mumang Daya. Very even at the moment. Do you feel like this is just going to continue to be the case?
I would say so. What's Alacrity leveling up here? Just Sleight of Fist, Flame Guard. Makes sense. You know, you don't really want the Searing Chains. You don't have strong ganking supports on your lineup, at least ones that are able to instantly initiate. So yeah, I don't think he's going to be going for any kind of kills there. And of course, you're also into the Kraken Shell. So I think it should stay relatively even. I'd say for Mumang Daya, though, he's got a bit stronger potential to go off onto this small camp and be able to pick up some extra farm for himself. There's the glimpse. You're going to be able to kill Jokam here?
See, DB's he's very hesitant with committing. Just... I feel like Daya have a stronger level 3. I believe Fire Spirit with an extra point in Thunderstrike is going to be more valuable than what Radiant will get out.
I would agree.
Jesus, UK? He's eating up a lot of damage from the neutrals. Oh, almost gets denied, but even in your dreams going to swing on over. So 2 big kills for the aggressive tri-lane. This will give us an opportunity to quickly look at bot as well as Mizu and Wami. How are they looking? Seems pretty even. It feels like all of the other lanes, it should legitimately just be farm fest. I can't imagine anything else. What are your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Mizu, of course, very sustainable just with his Aphotic Shield, and he's gone for a Bracer. Into Wami with the Helm of the Iron Will, eventually building into the Helm of the Dominator, and of course you've got that Feral Impulse as well for the extra regen, although if the body blocks go off here...
Yeah. That was a cool play from Wami. Should be right. Do you want Mizu to go Midas? Like, I feel like there's actually... You could argue a Midas is pretty decent. I feel like you need as much... Like, they can't end the game as fast, I think, with AM. Yes, Lycan's going to take objectives, but he's going to need the Helm of the Overlord, which will probably get at a faster timing because of the free lane, but, like, Abaddon can very much fall off as a 3.
They're going for the body block again. He doesn't have mana to get another Aphotic Shield off, so we'll see if he's able to claim it. No. Just able to get back underneath the tower. I feel like the Midas isn't too bad, especially if you rush it, right? Because that'll probably be around the Helm of the Dominator timing. Not the Helm of the Overlord, of course. It can't affect that.
Top lane.
But,
gonna try and focus down UK. Does give them an opportunity to push back Yokam, but they don't have the damage just yet, so they'll turn their attention to Poloson. He's got some sick charge in the arsenal. DB doing a lot of damage with 2 points mana burn, but he's got to be cautious still. The blink was available. Mumang Daya, an early rotation with the Ravage, gets a big double kill. That's a big movement. One that I was not expecting at all from the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, I think, did he just hit up onto level 6? Yes, he did as well. So choosing the perfect time to make that rotation there. It also goes to show the impact of sticks. You know, they had them for a longer time on Galaxy Racer there, and they were able to get the better part of those trades coming through.
And DB gets a lot of that experience as well. And you see they're just giving him a free lane. They should also reset. So, it's only 1 creep at the small, but can he get the ranged? Oh, nicely played on UK. We got ourselves quite the ball game here, though. Galaxy Racer, an early lead. Very, very minimal.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just have 2 heroes at the moment. It does look like trying to connect once again with Lim.
Bounty.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, Alacrity's here as well. If they can get kills with this catapult, they can do a lot of damage to the tower. They'll start with DB. Great use of the ward. Now they'll overwhelm it onto the tower. And this should be at least half of the tower's health gone, and even a prize on top of that with the Disruptor's life.
Gets Gets all the way out, gets to refresh his bottle, and he's going to look to rejoin the team, not even needing Mizu there with the Curse of Avernus to be able to take down this tower. So that's a nice little bonus coming through for Galaxy Racer. Probably not something that you were expecting. Not even needing the Searing Chains either on top of that. So great combination there coming through from the supports to ensure the kill onto the anti-mage and halting his farm.
DB
rotating him down towards the bot side, but now you've got DB level 5 into the level 7 Abaddon.
I don't think Mizu will care too much about this. Maybe Army Geniuses can get their own tower with next Ravage, which is up in 20. They might lose Lim in the process. Catch up Mimeng Dai's Courier, which was Bracer and TP. But he's still hard to go through the tide with level 8.
Mizu, he wanted to use the Aphotic Shield as much as he could, just there against the anti-mage, give him no mana to burn, and then he was totally happy to just stand there and trade. And now it feels like, you know, you've made this rotation down here on DB, but what's it actually going to result in? You know, the creep wave's all the way back down here. Last time they tried to trade with Mizu, he just had to TP away after 3 of the Curse of Avernus stacks. 1, 2, 3, blink, yep. Tries to wait it out, and then he'll look to go back in. But it's just going to be the same story again and again, and getting more of his creep wave denied.
Dire do not have great ways to make plays on the map, which is a bit of an issue. Okay, how are you going to funnel your farm into everyone, actually? Because your supports are such low experience. And I mean, you're trying to give top to Lim, which I guess is nice, but that's farm's not for the anti-mage who's being contested down bot. He's very
It's like
poor.
they're just basing this around Mimeng Dai again, right? Like, he's the one that's going to need to be making all of these plays. It's him, Phoenix, and Disruptor making the rotations, and, like, they're 3 huge teamfight ultimates, right? But in terms of pickoffs, they're not that amazing. As we hear the first use of the shapeshift, they're trying to chase down onto Yokam.
Looks like the poor lion even a pog pole on forward. Mizu is a bit more of a difficult task to undertake. They're still gonna attempt it. I mean, there's no rotations coming through just yet. Is Mizu gonna get any assistance right now? Finally a TP. Even the Venge is starting to run down bot, and oh no, the anti-mage. Well done under the tower, and the shapeshift's expired, so Alacrity is looking to push on fourth more. He can slide dodge the glimpse.
Oh, nice.
A beautiful timing. Chains Remnant up in a couple of seconds. Even Polyson can give some assistance from afar.
Really nicely played there by Mizu. Just wanting to kite out as much of that that shapeshift as possible, so that they're committing heavily under the tower. The borrowed time with all the farm that he was able to obtain on the bottom side of the map meant that didn't result in anything except for a couple of your cores dying. And now even just looking to continue the push forward this time around, Mizu's going to be there with the siege creep assisting. I wonder, actually ends up getting the 4th hit onto the tower while it was under the glyph. Thought he might have tried to wait here. Mimeng Dai is going to show up with the Ravage available, so looking to be a little bit careful. But also Wami and UK showing themselves. Glimpse only the 2 points, so they're going to bring him back. I don't know if Mizu's the right target for this.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Gonna try, but he's still got that borrowed time.
Yeah, this is a difficult task to undertake once again. I mean, you just... Yo, he's going Shadow Blade. Very interesting.
Okay.
Dire's middle tower
Guess he wants a Silver's Edge as the game goes on.
Yeah, you're going to be attacking fairly fast, and even just being able to get that break onto the anti-mage means that you can man-fight and at least still have the Aphotic Shield available for yourself.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
DB is going to have quite the troubled time. Is Lim... He's only got 1 point Sunray. Healing. Is it going to be enough? DB, nice time in the counterspell. Just prevents Yokam from wanting to drop down the ultimate, but I mean, you just see... Is he still going to actually die?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There is 0 space right now to AM to farm on the map. It's beautiful to see how Galaxy Racer are just occupying the jungle and wherever anti-mage is, they're trying to contest him as best as possible. Maybe they can't stop him from last hitting, but you're at least forcing out a lot of his resources to maybe buy, an extra set of Salve or even Tangos, but
Dire's top tower
he's
is under attack.
having to just really get out of dodge, and see the farm is really slowing down. And well, for Galaxy Racer, it's not for them though.
To their credit, though, on Army Geniuses, they've been able to build up some pretty decent vision on the map. 3 high ground observer wards that haven't been dewarded for quite some time. Or sorry, 2, and then one just to the left of the typical triangle ward. It means that DB is going to have somewhat of a feeling of safety, but not if you're getting dived like this by the entire team.
Once again, let's see if Lim's enough.
Bottom tower is under
They've
attack.
got the Fire Spirit attack, slow slides up in a couple seconds. Oh,
Dire's
DB.
structures are fortified.
he needs help.
Dire's bottom tower is
Team,
under attack.
please.
Yeah,
they've
I don't
also
think a
caught
level
out
1 Sunray's going to do
Disruptor.
much.
And we'll see what Ravage and Supernova can do, but Lim's got to be very cautious. Drop the Ravage. Alacrity doesn't have mana for the Remnant. Gonna try and make the attempt. One doesn't give him enough. He's still getting a nice amount of distance away, and actually just gonna drop the Supernova as Alacrity will fall. That's a big streak to find from Wami. They won't get anything more, however. Will they, though? Nice micro, the Centaur Conqueror. He was continuing to stalk Yokan. They need to funnel the gold to the Anti-Mage. Okay, well, he'll just get denied instead.
Even just the old chat. I'm sure he was not expecting that from a small camp.
Oh, no. DB's like, Lord, help me.
Don't worry, the kill streaks are starting to build up on the neutrals, and then he'll try and claim him.
Ah, yes, I see. You're also looking to fatten up Radiant a little bit, and then you just, give them this false sense of security, and then, whoppa!
I mean, it happened to them in game 1, right? 20k lead, and then bam! Lich happened.
Okay, so at least my mind is at ease a little bit, knowing that in your dreams going Sanjin Yasha into Satanic, and I believe a crit stick after.
Dire's middle tower is
So
under attack.
it seems like the Venge Morphling is something that does not work. I was worried for a
Alright, good.
second. Could have the new goddamn Bang Bros. Oh, DB. Oh, no. They're so close to Yokan Blink. I'm surprised they smoke there.
Yeah. Wanting to, I suppose, keep the pressure up. They know that they still are up against this timing. The laning stage went very well, but that's as a result of some individual plays, some good cohesion. Ooh,
Nice body
they
blocks.
found here.
They want me making sure that... I think you take that. 251
Plus
gold.
5, man.
Yeah, but you're giving some space to DB. You're right, it's a +5. I think when you're this far behind, you're going to take anything you can get. If it was a kill on Yokan, that would have been great. You'd take that. Alacrity's still sticking around, though. They've got a credible lane ward to scout out UK. They bought the more juicier, in fact, the easier target in the Phoenix. Swami. So he's going to try and charge up the ultimate. Yokan won't be successful with his TP, so it will be a secondary support falling top. Now it is Shapeshift forced. I guess giving him some gold towards the Helm of the Overlord.
Be nice for him. Mamang Daya, I'm a little surprised that he hasn't been putting himself down on this bottom side of the map more, right? Because when you look at it, how are they really going to kill him super early on into the game? Like, Lion needs the Figure of Death available. Maybe that's why he's just put himself down there now with Jokan being killed. But I feel like you being down here playing this more difficult lane is going to provide yourself and your team with a lot more security moving forward. And this is the mid laner, right? Like, he's going into the Gush as well, just wanting to enable Lycan to have the most effective game possible. Hell, not even the Lycan necessarily, just the Helm of the Overlord creep.
Yeah. I think it also gives you a nice way to not compromise yourself in the lane. Like, you can just spam out Gush and D-push a lot easier. Because I think you just have to make as much space as possible for the anti-mage, and that might provide that for you.
Yep.
Helm of the Overlord,
to
of course, will
that,
too.
Yeah, getting close to that Shadow Blade on Mizu, just 200 gold away. So I'm keen to see if he goes into the Silver Edge. It makes sense, you're up against the Kraken Shell, you're up against the counter, not the counter spell, the mana break as well. So it can be very effective at trying to negate the effects of this man fight.
They don't have shapeshift for another 5, so we'll be up if they want to defend top. They have their ultimates at the ready. This is the one advantage that it feels like Dire have. Just the synergy that can come through from the team fights. So space for DB as well to farm for the Battle Fury, which is now completed. It's a very late, yeah. You could definitely say that was a successful tri lane. Brigand's Blade's nice, at least for the moment here on the AM. See what else they can give over to him. They do have, like, as the game goes on, as soon as he picks up Manta, he's very survivable. Before then, they still have a big window where they can kill him.
I would agree with that. It's going to be, you know, exacerbated even further, of course, considering the fact that Jokam has finished up his Blink Dagger as well. So I think, you know, with as aggressive as Galaxy Racer have been playing so far, they can look to ramp things up even further. Might be punished, though, with the Helm of the Overlord, freshly picked up here by Wami. And it is this balancing act, right? Like, you want to be able to get the Helm of the Overlord. Oh, actually, no, never mind. He does have the Ancient Black Dragon, so he's going to use that to try and push out one of these lanes, probably park it top in a bit more of the dead lane.
Mangaya?
Should be fine.
Got a bit of assistance. Wami's shapeshift is teetering off the last duration here. They're kiting it further and further back, but they haven't dropped the ultimates just yet. How far are they going to go before they will use them? Supernova, the only one that will be forced out.
And Jokam did a fantastic job. He essentially kited out half of the Lycan's shapeshift ability. He's still not dead. Like, it's going to force a TP through from UK, but he's done his job.
Oh, no, okay. Space created.
He was getting, like, Ravages onto 5 different units, all the different creeps that Lycan had following him. It was fantastic. Even getting a Hex onto the Ancient Black Dragon, making sure he was an Ancient Black Fish instead.
This is Roche, though. They're a little bit too late to the party. Ravage and Static Storm at the ready if they want to go. They will not contest it. They might kill off Mizu, but still has the ultimate, so he's not too worried about his position at the moment, especially with the assistance in the backline. They'll glimpse him back. About half health to work with on Mizu. Really don't want to pop the ulti early on, but it's going to force the backline to be compromised. They're just going to wait 4 minutes. In your dream, we'll clean up the disruptor. Lim's going to fall as well with the hands of the Morphling. And meanwhile, they've also caught out Wami. The Lycan shapeshifts up in a couple of seconds. Alacrity is a little bit low in the mana regard as well, but I think they should get just the stuns at the last second. And they will, Yokami. He didn't want the extra charge there, but space still for DB.
We're seeing here a key difference between, excuse me, the way that UK is playing the Disruptor versus what we see from the likes of DY for Vici Gaming. You know, he's going into a Yule Scepter first. It's understandable, you know, you want to be able to tank up from a lot of the damage coming through from the Morphling with the Shotgun Blast, the Lion as well, the Ember Spirit, just to be able to avoid a lot of that early damage potential. But the counter side of that is that you've got 5 heroes that are running at you consistently, and you don't have the ability to fight into it super early on.
See how DB's reactions are? Counter spell! Ooh.
Not fast enough.
He's going up.
Thou art a devil, pure and simple.
The Yules provide you a way to get that catch though, right? Because when Static Storm's dropped, I don't believe the silence is instant.
No.
So against someone like the Ember, it's incredibly effective. Morphling as well, maybe at some stage, if he opts for a BKB. Could be very, very later on. He doesn't need it this early. Meanwhile, Polo also has just been silently farming up a Storm. 2 components completed. About to be a 3rd as well after the creep wave. Assuming
he doesn't die, which is very likely. If he wants to, he can buy the next portion of it before he dies.
Run, piggy, run!
Oh, no. No.
Oh, they're just giving the kill to DB. Ah, yes.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Am I?
Dire's
Alright.
structures are
More space,
fortified.
more space. They are losing some objectives up top as Mizu and In Your
I think
Dream will
losing some heroes as well.
Dire's
UK.
top tower has fallen.
be chased down. They need to target Yokam, but the glimpse actually pushing further away. But AG can continue the hunt. Yokam recognizes the inevitable. So a 2 for 2 Alacrity. Is that the 9-second BKB usage? It is.
Radiant's middle tower
But it has to be said that DB is closing it on the Manta. So he has done a pretty solid job at least to catch up in farm.
I mean, he got 2 kills out of it. I'd say that's worth the 9-second BKB. And, you know, like you mentioned before, you're going to have the Yule Scepter to be able to set up for the Static Storm. But, you know, it's an early BKB. Like, this is the first item BKB that Ember Spirit's gone, realizing that he needs to keep the pressure up.
I think it's also just makes it that much more easier for him to jump the supports because they need to overlap their ultimates. Like, you need the synergy to come through. Like, Tide, the Ravage, the Supernova, and then drop the Static Storm. But
Disrupt the game plan. That's his role.
1000%. And we see Alacrity. He always knows his role on these heroes with how... I'm so surprised he's not level 25 on the Ember. But we just see they always give him this hero in pro games, and there seems to be a good reason why. He just performs at an exceptional rate.
Oh, in your dream.
But Dire coming. They actually want to take the fight right now. Supernova drop preemptively. They don't have a way to go through Alacrity's BKB, so the egg... He denies the egg. Ravage at the last second. But now they're in trouble. The chain's lockdown's far enough. They recognize the direction of the blink. Maybe the tower cooldown might get DB to safety, and it will. I don't know, you could deny
I'm really
the
surprised
egg.
that they didn't buy back there on UK. You know, you're all in the area, you're making the rotation, you've committed the Supernova, and no buyback. You know, Static Storm could have been enough to be able to disrupt that, and a very cheeky play coming out there by In Your Dream, morphing into the Disruptor as he's trying to make the retreat and glimpsing him back to set up that entire engagement.
So since when could you deny egg?
Always? I don't know. I don't play Phoenix.
Just never seen that mechanic with DB. You're under ward, my brother. At least I see Yokam, so his... Lycan is doing a really good job to try and scout out with these wolves, but you're losing too much real estate across the map, and we'll see these wolves once again set up for a glimpse pick-off.
That's a big centaur.
Their ultimates aren't at the ready, though. Do they still feel comfortable with taking the fight? Orchid's out, but the control lacking afterwards. What a static storm. Now with a jump in, they'll target the Venge. Now we just got the Aghanims. We'll see what the illusion can do with the Mana Void. Not enough. DB has to blink to safety, so In Your Dream can stand his ground. The sustains through the roof, and again, Alacrity goes completely untouched.
Even glimpsing him back off the high ground and giving him the tip to say thank you very much. Yeah, it just feels like this Lycan has gotten nowhere near enough done. You know, at least this time around, it's the style of Lycan that we've kind of seen 4-5-8 play, but at least finishing up the Helm of the Overlord first. But he's getting completely kited around in every single one of these team fights. I feel like he needs a BKB as opposed to something like an Orchid.
Dire's structures are fortified.
He doesn't have it queued up just yet, but yeah, I imagine that will be the case. They're going to have some issues with backdoor protection, but Alacrity's already dealt with that as bottom shoved in. And, oh yes, classic AM games going up against a set of barracks disadvantage.
God, I hate anti-mech so much.
His play style is, ugh. Oh, man, I'm gonna say it again. I still think this is a game he can actually 5v1.
Really?
He's not farmed. Yes. Yes, they don't have a good way to kill him. He's not very farmed. So it's gonna be...
But then he gets picked off once and you lose the game, you know?
That's the thing. I just... I mean, next Roche, this game should end from Galaxy Racer. If AJ can somehow stall that out, I believe in AM late game and their team fight. I don't think that's going to happen, but there is still an avenue for Dire.
I feel like it's even going to get to the point where, like, just this Abaddon is going to be farmed enough and hitting enough that, you know, you might be able to Manta off the Searing Chains, for example, and, you know, you can counterspell the Hex and blah, 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 blah. Like, Mizu's just going to hit you enough and have fast enough attack speed that you're just silenced after the fact, and there's nothing you can do. There's some silence, forced to use the Manta style and get away. Like, that's a position 3 doing that. So, until he has BKB, this anti-mage is not fighting, and he's going Ascari first.
A tool to teach.
I don't think he can go BKB. I think that's too defensive.
He has to, otherwise Abaddon just stops him.
He's got Manta though, right? You just get out of silence.
Sure, but then you just right-click him and you silence him again and he can't blink away. And if he tries to take the team fight, Abaddon's main role is just get on the anti-mage.
Radiant's top tower is under
How long
attack.
to Roach? 15 seconds. That is the objective at the moment. But you see all of Dire just putting their body on the line to try and delay this as long as possible. Lane shoved out. Whatever you can. Any levels that we could see, like ultimate times? There's Tide's almost 18. Lim's got 2 points supernova. Wommy almost, well, 17, bit away from 18. Trying to take a fight around mid though. Mizu leading the charge. If they can, that's a blink on the courier.
Oh no.
And they have an exceptional ward on the high ground too. So they start on Wommy.
Even Lycan getting chain lockdown.
No opportunity for the shapeshift from Mang Dial. We'll not see a good use of the Ravage this team fight either.
With that Blink Dagger going down, he won't have buyback gold. They're looking to chase further on Alacrity.
Very, very good job though. Lane shoved out, so they will not lose objectives. But Radiant might just look to try and find Roche.
I mean, the difference there, right, is that... Anyway, you've got... You were talking about any key timings in terms of ultimates, like level 2, level 3 ultimate and all that, but the big thing for mine is that Army Geniuses have just never used all of their ultimates in tandem. Yep. You know, there've been a couple dropped here, a couple dropped there, but there hasn't been this big game-changing team fight to set up for a big objective like the Roshan, and I think that's been the key difference so far this game, outside of the tri-lane going so well for Galaxy Racing.
Alright, so we got the Ags. Dude, they're using Static Storm to clear creeps too. We got an Ag shard on the Abaddon. So the Miscall on Aphotic Shield applying the Curse of Averna stack.
I believe he was going into the Ag Scepter for himself as well. I know he had it queued up for a little bit, but he's cleared it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I have to try and mount a defense here. Scotty, and he's looking for a bash the next item on the anti-mage. How can you go through the first life? Oh, debris. They're going to target on. It'll be the Tide. Break is out, and the life is gone. No second life to play with. UK and the Tree Lion, and looks like another fight where we're not going to see the ultimates synergize together. They've also found Wommy on the backline who's looking to try and kill Yokam. They've got a sentry, so he will be successful, but he has to leave the summons to do the job. As meanwhile, underneath the tier 4 tower, Mizu Alacrity diving deep, DB, Meta Void out, but Mizu not the greatest target for that.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
This feels like prolonging the inevitable for mine. Like, eventually when he Abaddon... Lycan, he's going to go down. Big damage coming through from Mizu. But, yeah, like, wait, is he dying as well? In your dream, just looking to man fight into him as the morphed anti-mage.
Dire's bottom tower
Danog,
is under attack.
have you got Google Translate out? They're speaking up a storm right now.
I don't know Indonesian, I'm sorry.
Dire's bottom tower
I mean, what good are you as a co-caster then? What the hell?
I know very basic Indonesian, like Selamat Pagi, Selamat Datang, and stuff like that.
Very good. Would you like to enlighten me?
It's just like welcome and hello and all that.
Hollow's gone. First steps to a comeback. B. Oh, Yokem. Oh, he baited. The good old chat bait. Didn't know we were playing rank games here.
I mean, this is the C region, bro. This is what happens.
Dude, what is going on in your dream? He's got Alacrity stand hand in hand. There's the combination. Alacrity still's got the BKB, and looks like the anti-mage won't get... Oh, actually blinks away to safety, so they'll kill off in your dream's first life. Bloodthorn's out as well, so Alacrity's gonna die too. You also have a Spirit Vessel in your dream, but nice play with the Replicate. The only issue is they'll glimpse him straight back into the Dire's territory. So in your dream will not escape. It's time for a Mega Creep comeback, lads. Let's see what you got in store for us.
I wonder if they'll actually just call GG. Yeah, there we go. They just wanted that last fight. They wanted to call the GG. That's what I thought. That's the type of players that Army Geniuses are. They're like, you know what? We're not going to go out without a fight. We know we've been mega creeped, and, you know, it just goes to show that we are capable.
Feel like that AM was,
It's never it. It's never the hero. Like, it's a 24th pick. If at all, you know, to be able to bring out for DB, and not a fan overall, and it just wasn't able to get enough done. That tri-lane went far too well for Galaxy Racer, and again, another stellar performance from Alacrity's Ember Spirit. Even though he was lacking in the mid game a little bit on his net worth, the amount of plays and his specific targeting was on point, and unfortunately for Army Geniuses, again, not able to sync up their ultimates except for inside their base once they've been mega creeped, and what do you know? That ended up winning them a single team fight, but it was just too little, too late.
Unfortunately for Army Geniuses, going down 2-0 today. Game 1 was... it's rough to always reset after a Game 1 performance like that. When you drop a 20,000 net worth lead and you go into this game, that they really tried to make the flexibility of the Tidehunter work out, but we just haven't seen it go to the success that they're hoping for, and we were huge fans of the draft, and then the AM was picked up, and it really felt like, again, we were saying this, the synergy, it's not there as much. There's opportunities for them to take this game, but Galaxy Racer just is a complete different showing from the early game from Game 1. They didn't give Army Geniuses a huge lead. They dictated what the pace was going to be, taking towers, objectives early. We saw the conversion
setting
rate.
Up the lanes well.
Yeah, the lanes, like you said, I mean, the tri-lane was just a huge factor on how they're able to win this game. I mean, the anti-mage at 10 minutes in was just so far behind, even more than that. Like, you were just so ridiculously far behind. It made it too difficult and too far of a late timing of the Battlefield. But it's very impressed with Galaxy Racer with how they're able to play today. They're all up there 4-0 because they had 2 best of 2s to kick us off, and we're not done. We've still got 2 more best of 2s as well. Next up, it's going to be Execration up against Yangon Galacticos. We'll take a short break. Our 3rd series starting shortly.